منتفعون بهذه المصيبة انتفاعها لبصيرة فيكون لهم وقت نفيس للرجوع والفرار إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى ففيروا إلى الله إني لكم من نذير مبين. Brothers and sisters, all praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our topic today, this half of the khutbah, centers around the calamity that occurred in Turkey and then Syria. You will agree with me that the challenges of our time are on the increase. They are rife. Calamities here and there, disasters, poverty, adversities, and so forth and so on. To the extent that one keeps asking, normally when things do happen like this, these occurrences of this nature, when do happen, we normally invoke the Quran or the Sunnah of Rasulullah or the actions of the Sahaba. But some might say that, well, as for the Sahaba, they are the best of the generation. They are the best of the generations. So it is easy for them. They don't toil, they don't feel the pain enough because they are close to our Rasulullah. But don't go far to fetch this heroic deed. Here's the child in Turkey, not more than 10 years of age, when his family, his parents, they were crushed under the rubble of the earthquake. Biduni jaza, he did not panic. But what did he say? He said that, I entrust this test to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qadar Allah. This is the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A child invoking the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in just a moment, he rises high to the highest echelons of faith. This is true of the believers. This is the nature and the character of believers when they are saturated with faith and perseverance. Things of this nature, calamities, when do they occur? When they occur, they repose everything in the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All our adversities. Because it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who says that, do you want to enter into a Jannah paradise and not to be tested with the kind of tests that were meted out to those who came before you? They were shaking very severely, very shaking to the marrow, very marrow. More than earthquake. Until the Prophet ﷺ and those who were with him cried out. They said, when comes the help of Allah? Indeed, the help of Allah is near. So these texts bring us to the realization that we have to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are lessons that will be drawn from these lessons. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us with this minor test. These are even minor in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when the major test comes, then it should be worse than this. Can we handle it? وَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ دون العذاب الأكبر لعلهم يرجعون. We shall test them with minor adversities so that they might return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So brothers and sisters, anytime there is a calamity, we do not panic, because believers do not panic. As a matter of fact, they invoke patience, they pluck up patience and perseverance, and then settle with what that has happened, and then thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If that can happen, if we can draw lessons from this, hopefully, then we shall be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make it easy on all of us. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه طيبين الطاهرين ومن نهج نهجهم بإحسان إلى يوم النشور. أيها الأخوة المؤمنون، لقد أقبل علينا رمضان، ذلك الشهر الذي الصيام فيه فرض على كل مكلف آمن بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا رسولا. والصيام من أجل الطاعات وأشرفها، وهو أيضا عبادة فريدة لقد اختص الله سبحانه وتعالى اختصه لنفسه. ففي صحيحين من حديث أبي هريرة قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الله تعالى كل عمل ابن آدم إلا صوم وأنا أجزي به. ومقتضى هذا الحديث خلال منطوقه ومفهومه يعني أن الله تبارك وتعالى اختص شهر رمضان أو صيام لنفسه، وهو تولى إيطاع أجر فيجزي الأجر والثواب لكل من صام. من صام رمضان قيام إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Is the ways of Allah subhanahu. Our Rasul was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to communicate this information to the Ummah. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, because of the value and the merit on the status of Ramadan, that is the song. لأن الصوم يعني يحتل مكانة مرموقة عند الله سبحانه وتعالى، ولمحبته له تولى إيطاع الأجر. So it is unlike all other forms of devotions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his soul. It is because the servant reveals his truest form, most sincere relationship between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala observes and knows the innermost recesses of this human being who is fasting. Therefore, the servant himself makes sure that he does not commit offenses that might draw or incur the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why when we are fasting, we have to fast according to the rules. We have to make sure that we are not just abstaining from food and all those things that have been prohibited during the time of fasting. But as we fast, all our limbs, the outside limbs are fasting. But what is even more important is that the internal limbs are also fasting. And at the head of it all is the qalb, is the heart, human heart. The human heart is also fasting. So ulama suluk, main scholars who are immersed into the knowledge of morality and spirituality, they come to conclusions that when you are fasting, even your heart is also fasting. And that is very dangerous. That can determine the value and the merit of your fasting more than anything else. Not the outside limbs alone. Because remember the hadith in which our Rasul says about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يغفر الله لجميع خلقه إلى المشرك والمشاهن. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives the entirety of his creation except the one who commits an act of polytheism against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also one who harbors grudges, acrimonies, caprices, vices in his heart, that he may not be forgiven. This tells us that our heart is the seat of our faith. It must be cleansed from all the contaminants of envy and jealousies that we have, and enmity and animosity that we have against our brothers and sisters and others. And that is the real struggle that we need to consider when we are fasting. Allah inna fil jasadi mudghah idha salahat salaha al-jasad kulluhu wa idha fasada al-jasadu kulluhu. That's the muscle of flesh. If it is not tamed very well and it is diseased, then the entire body is prone to disease. So as we fast, have we gone deep into ourselves to make sure that every bit of grudge is wiped out? That is the enormous task. Allah chooses fasting as a means by which we can attain piety within the host and multitude of other a'mal or devotions and practices. Allah chose Ramadan, or fasting for that matter, if you will. Because the efficacy of fasting to cleanse us from all impurities, morally and spiritually, is very high. Most efficacious form or means by which we can attain piety and be successful. Ramadan, or fasting for that matter, must be given its due right. It must be given its merit. So as we fast, we are so finding out where we err, where we commit an act of infractions, where our grudges are overcoming us, where we have problem with wiping out those animosities we have been tested, we are going through. And even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when he says kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba alaykum min qablikum, here kutiba here I furid aw ujib. And then when Allah comes to say that shahr ramadan alladhi unzila fihi alquran hudan linnas wa bayyinatin min alhuda faman shahida minkum shahr falyasumhu aidan yufid al-amr wujub wal amr bal yufid wujub aidan. So it is obligatory that everybody is fasting. But here is the word that we need to contemplate over. When Allah says that la'alakum tattaqun, it has been made obligatory upon you that you may attain piety, that you may become pious. At-taqwa. Wa-taqwa kama na'lam imtithal awamirillah wa jinab nawahi. To practice the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to carry them out, and to abstain from the prohibitions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is taqwa. But Allah said that you might attain. So it's not a guarantee. It is not a guarantee that once you fast, then you have attained or achieved piety. You have to work for it. If your fasting is so pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah يتولى الأجر غير مقيد بعدد محدد. The reward, the thawab that Allah gives is not stipulated. It can be more, it can be, it is unnumbered. كما يجازي الله سبحانه وتعالى الصابرين مصداقا لقوله تعالى يوم يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب. The day when we are going to recompense those who are patient بغير حساب, without due measure, just like fasting. So how do you know how much Allah is going to write for you? We don't know. So the better you do your fasting, the more you perfect it, then you are going to get what? A perfect marks, grade. Who doesn't want to have a perfect grade? So here's the competition. Therefore, we are saying that this is the time that people should make resolutions. We see people make resolutions when it is time for festivities or celebrations. They said, today I'm going to make a resolution. I'm not going to eat meat anymore. I'm going to lose weight and so forth and so on. Resolutions. These are material resolutions. Where is the spiritual resolution? It is not worthwhile to say that from today, this Ramadan, I'm not going to backbite anyone no more. I'm not going to slander anyone from today. Can we do that? If we can, mashallah, then we have attained the goal of practicing Siyam. So Siyam is just a means to an end. It is not an end in itself. So at-taqwa is the end total of the fasting. Means is the fasting. There are many means by which we can attain piety, but not like fasting, because these are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and sanctioned and promulgated by our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to consider the adab, the etiquette, the manners that are embedded in the fasting. As we fast, there are brothers who were with us here just last year. Now they are no more. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show them His mercy. As for the little boy who we talk about him, not more than 10 years old, and then entrusted all his faith to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah by saying that Allahumma ahyahu Allah hayatan tayyiba farida nabila. May Allah raise his status and Allah grow men, people like him who might uphold the virtues of this deen from that age. That is amazing. And as we are fasting, such people who have been misplaced by hunger, adversities, and even war, they are fasting under challenging conditions. How they take their suhoor and iftar is subdued. We are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make easy on all of them, to provide sufficiently and adequately for them, so that they may also feel the pleasure and the value of Ramadan. Allahumma asina aqibatana fil umuri kulliha wa ajirna min khizyi adhab al-akhirah. Allahumma ighfir lil muslimin wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al-ahya minhum wal amwat innaka sami'un qarib mujibu da'awat ya rabbal alamin. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا and straighten up the lines. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim, Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تسقى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية وجوه يومئذ ناعمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. الله أكبر. الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome all of you to come back for our iftar tonight, inshallah. And also we ask that you come and make sure that you bring your family and park correctly. And also we are in need of some brothers to help set up for tonight, okay? So if you're available and you can help volunteer, can you see Brother Rafiq in the back, please? Because we do need some help, because as you can see, our masjid is filled, and there's probably going to be a lot of people, so we're in need of help. So if you have the time and you can help us, we need you. And don't forget to give generously to Masjid Uqbah. There's a lot of us here. We're all the way to the back. And this is your masjid, and this is what we do. We take care of our masjid. So please don't forget the calendars are still available, and we still have some of the bottles that we have with the Uqbah logo available as well. And may Allah bless all of you, and may Almighty Allah accept our fasting during this blessed month of Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. For the brothers who are here to help with the iftar preparations, you can meet me in the activity room now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.